welcome to the Apoca Outpost. On this video, I would like to go over our water filtration system that we have used on our off-grid campers and container homes, because this is probably the most sought after item that we provide in our units, because water is probably the most important item that would be needed to survive in the outdoors when it comes to camping and survival circumstances. Our filtration system is simple. The river or lake water will first go into our iSpring WSP50 sediment filter to take the large sediments out of the water, and then it goes through an additional fine sediment KDF and carbon block filters, and then finally the water is put through a ultraviolet water purifiers, which sterilizes the water from any bacteria and zaps all those contaminants that may be left. It's a pretty cool system, and the 3 large filters last for about 100,000 gallons of water, but then the first sediment filter, which is nice about it, you can easily unscrew it and just clean it in your sink and reuse it over again. So it's a really easy system to maintain, which I like about it. So the goal behind our water filters is that we do not want to see you get stuck in an RV park relying on general utility hookups, but to only rely on natural resources such as the sun for our solar and power, and lakes and rivers for our water sources. That is the beauty of our products, is that we run everything on natural resources. You basically put your vehicle with your camper along a river or a lake, then you connect your hose to the spigot on your camper, then feed your hose to a secondary pump with an extension cord to help add a little boost to push the water from the river or lake into your camper. And then finally watch your water get pumped and filtered into your unit. So guys, here is a brief video showing how I demonstrate how this process works. Hey guys, so here we are. We have our little stream that we're going to be filtering water out of. This is a nice little stream that we found, and what I'm going to be doing is we're going to take this little pump. This is a pump that we have used from Home Depot. This is something that we purchased at Home Depot. I can even put it on the link down below if you'd like to know where I got this. And I used 2 pumps. The one is a primary pump inside of the camper, and then I use this secondary pump in the water to jumpstart the water to get into the camper. If I relied only on the pump in the camper, it's just not going to work, so I have to use 2 pumps. So I have this extension cord that is plugged directly into the exterior of the camper, and then we have this pump here that we are going to use that will be plugged into this cord, and to make sure that we can have all the power and the extra push that we need to get the water into the camper. Now, another piece of advice is when we filter water into our campers, don't ever put the pump in the bottom of a stream or a lake, because you are going to accumulate all the mud and other garbage that is on the bottom. So what I have done is I put a rock, actually I put a couple of them inside the stream, so the pump is going to be hovering above the bottom of the stream, so it gets more of the clear water up above, so it's not going to have as much junk going into my filters, is what I really prefer. So what I'll be doing is I could try and do it while I'm holding onto my phone, but I may have to edit my video. But what I'm going to do is I'll plug it in, and then I will drop the pump into here, and then I will turn on the pump in the camper and then watch it go. And it usually takes about maybe 30 minutes for a 100-gallon tank to fill up in a camper. So let me show you how we do it. So I'm just going to take my plug, okay, all right, I can hear the pump running. Make sure the cord does not get into the water. That's a big safety hazard there. And I'm going to just walk down here into the stream, and we're going to put the pump right in here. We want it just enough in the water so it can start pumping stuff in, but we don't want it in the dirt, okay? See how it's just barely hovering above the water if we do that? So now the pump is going. let's make our way back to the camper. And here's our camper over here. This is the Titan, if you've seen that on our website. Here's a cat. Look out, kitty. Here's this. It's a little bit messy, but this is what our camper looks like. So it needs to get cleaned up a little bit. But here's the tank. This is the level where it's at right now. And I'm just going to flip the switch. We just got to give it a moment for the water to start kicking in. The way you're really going to see water coming in is when you start seeing the sieve filter start filling up really good, or you're going to see minerals moving around in that filter in just a moment. Now, one of the things you need to keep in mind is just make sure that the hose is not leaking when you take a look at the hose spigots. The hose spigot on the right just goes directly into the tank, but the hose on the left goes right into the filter. But it looks like nothing's leaking and everything's running really good. So let's just check the pump again around the stream. All right, guys, looks like the pump is doing really well. It's just hovering above the water just a little bit, or just in the shallow area, and it's pumping away. So I think we're doing really good. And I know it's a little stream, but as long as I got a water source nearby, this is all I need to make sure I have all the fresh water I need to get into my camper. Now, as it's pumping with water, you see the water is just waving around in here. That's when you know the water is just making its way in. So the pump is definitely working and everything's running in nice and smoothly. So you know that the water is getting filled from that stream really nicely. So I'm actually very pleased at how well it's working for how far it is. It's about 75 feet away from the camper. So I think it's doing pretty good with all the pressure. So let's just keep it going. Alright guys, for the sake of time, I gotta get somewhere, but it's been about 18-20 minutes, and this is how far we've gone with the tank. So probably if I had another maybe 20 minutes or so, I could have the tank filled up, but at least this gets you an idea how quickly we get the tank filled up. So I need to go clean things up and turn off the pump in the stream, and then well, we'll be looking pretty good. But at least this is a good example on how we fill up our tank with water out of the stream. Alright, so now that everything is all done, I just need to hike down here. Make sure I don't get my boots all wet. And I'm just going to grab just the cords like this and pull the pump straight up. And unplug the cord, and that's it. I just got to wind everything up and we're done. So guys, that's pretty much how we do it. And so that's what I love about our off-grid campers. This is probably one of the biggest highlights I love about them, is that we want to be able to be anywhere we want to be for camping, as long as we got a lake or a river. And who doesn't want to camp next to a beautiful lake or a stream? And doing this, it allows us to get all the fresh water that we need, and we never have to be in a RV park. And look how beautiful this stream is. It's really nice, just going all the way down there. So hopefully you guys can see it through my phone, but it's really beautiful. And then as I just come down here, you can look down the stream out this way as well. So I'm very happy and grateful that it was here, so I can get all the fresh water I need for my camper. So guys, no matter what your circumstances may be when it comes to using our water filtration system, if it be recreation, water shortages, or natural disasters and more, you can have a system that will truly be ready to protect you and your family while the rest of the world struggles for fresh water. I'm leaving links to where you can get those parts for this system to help you get better prepared and start using this now, because not everybody can afford our campers. But my #1 goal is to help you survive in a time of need. But again, thank you for your support, and please subscribe and share this to someone that may need this, and see you on the next video. Thank you.